You are now listening to Cryptid Cocktail Party. Creatures, let's meet for a drink. It's a treat. Join us. Join us in the fight. Cryptid Cocktail Party. Cryptid Cocktail Party.
Welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your very sick host, Dave, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host Sarge, but we also have another guest today, Nash Hoover, returning guest. He's the host of Chasing Legends. Sorry, my throat's fucked up. What's going on, man? How's it going?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me back on. I'm excited to be back talking with you fools. Hopefully you can stump me this time.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's nice.
Hey, dare to dream, guys.
Yeah, it's nice of you to pretend.
What's funny is that when I was putting the clips together for this, you're the only guest I think that we have on where I actually have guests like clips prepared for some reason. I don't know why, but the McKelly and Bembe sounds were still in my mixer, and I had to just now replace them. But yeah, I mean, what's going on? Anything new, exciting? Anything?
No, nothing really at the moment. It's just kind of, it's taking her day by day here in the frozen tundra of Minnesota.
Ooh, yeah, that's
among other dangers currently.
Yeah. Anyways, Sarge, how are you?
I'm magnificent. I'm still riding high from our in-person meeting.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a good time.
So I got sick that weekend, but you didn't get sick?
No.
You suck. That's
I'm still fine.
I hate that.
He's clearly stronger than you.
He's very much so. He goes to the gym. I do this.
I have to go to the gym so I can haul this giant head around and not look weird.
All right.
So I'm really just building muscle to take some of the focus off of my massive head.
just only doing neck workouts.
Basically,
You look like Alex Jones, just neck. Just a thick-necked man. All right. So I got an episode for you guys today. And I don't think it's not a cryptid. It's more of a mystery, I guess. It's something that I've been fascinated with. So I guess before we get into anything, I want to set the scene for this week's episode real quick. So picture this, guys. It's late at night. You can't sleep. You're bored, or maybe you're just doom scrolling your own thoughts in your head. So you do what any normal person would do living in the modern era of technology that we are currently in.
Watch porn.
No, that's you turn on your old AM FM radio and you're scanning through the stations trying to find something,
What's that?
anything to listen to. Maybe you're hoping to land on Loveline or Coast to Coast AM or some other weird late night shit. But then instead of hearing music or a Dr. Drew, you hear this.
Talk about number stations.
Fuck you!
Oh, I'm so fucking excited. I fucking love number stations.
Well, I guess I'm banned from ever coming back.
But that's it. That's all you hear. You just hear that. There's no introduction, no explanation, nothing. Just that repeating over and over and over. So what was it? Who was it? And why was it? Well, that's what we're going to try and figure out today, because this week, as Nash guests, we're going to be covering number stations. So what are number stations? I'm assuming Nash is very familiar with them. Sarge, are you familiar with number stations at all?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, this is a thing, man. I love this. I discovered this a long time ago, and I forget what I was on. I was on some website or something where it was like a long form article about it, and then anytime like a decent YouTuber puts up a video on number stations, I'm just glued to it.
Yeah. And Nash, what's your background with number stations?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of they kind of came across my radar years ago. I think a friend of mine actually kind of brought them to my attention because he had found some website that kind of had like an archive of kind of the more famous ones, and you were able to kind of go through and listen to all of them. And But yeah, just like Sarge said, it's kind of one of those things where, anytime you come across something of somebody talking about one, you got to kind of, no pun intended, tune in and hear what they have to say about it. Cause it's interesting. It's a pretty wild phenomenon. It's not something that's super common anymore, but years ago, back in the heyday of the standard radio, it was kind of more it was
in the
more
Cold
common.
War, like espionage. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Fun fact, all of them are available on Spotify. You can just listen to them. It's
amazing.
Yeah, this is called the Conet Project. You can just go on, you can listen. There's hundreds of them all on one station. So
so good.
yeah, so for anyone out there who doesn't know, number stations at their core, they're anonymous radio broadcasts, usually heard on shortwave radio that consists of voices reading a sequence of numbers or letters or both. Sometimes they'll start with some sort of tone or a short piece of music. Other times it just cuts straight to the message. But almost all of them follow kind of like the same like rigid structure. The transmissions will always start with at like a specific time, usually right on the hour or the half hour. A voice will begin reading groups of numbers or letters or a combination of the two, usually in sets of like 4 or 5. And each group is read slowly and clearly, and the messages will then be repeated multiple times. Then it just ends. There's no sign off or explanation. It's just radio silence after that. Now, to someone who just happens to stumble across one of these messages, it just sounds like nothing, just noise. But that's because it really wasn't meant to make sense to everyone. And what really makes these stations truly stand out is how consistent they are. Most of them have been following the same schedule for years, sometimes decades. They'll use the same voice, the same intro sounds, the same formats over and over and over again. Not unlike this show. What's weird is that they are almost never interfered with. Like there's no public agency has ever claimed responsibility for them, but they also aren't treated like pirate radio, if you know what I mean. Like they're just kind of allowed to exist, which is weird. But yeah, so that's kind of what number stations are. So do you guys want to hear some?
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Don't tease us, bud.
So first up, we got what's called, they call this the NATO phonetic alphabet.
Yankee, Hotel, Foxtrot. Yankee, Hotel, Foxtrot. Yankee, Hotel,
YHF.
Foxtrot. Group 1, 0. Group 1, 0. Text. November, Lima, Sierra, Victor, November. Uniform, Hotel, November, Foxtrot.
That was my favorite because I just like the way they say November.
Yeah. It's crazy because it's kind of hard to pick out the accent.
Yeah.
So Nash, you got hotel way before I did. I was like, what the fuck is she saying?
Yeah, it's Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
It's not spelling anything specific. It's just random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same letter sequence over and over again, but it's.
I wonder if it's like a code to a cipher or something.
It could be. And then, because then there was the group 1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one was active from the 1970s and it went silent or sometime around like 2011. It transmitted multiple times a day on like a super strict schedule. And shortwave hobbyists were actually able to track where this one was being broadcast from and trace the source to Israel. So that's cool.
Oh, geez.
Nice.
Well, we're getting canceled.
Well, yeah, it goes. It was, this.
It was somewhere in like the Tel Aviv, central Israel area.
Same building as the DHS Twitter account.
Before you go on, do you know if the message ever changed?
No, they're always.
I was going to ask that too.
Yeah, no, the messages are always it's the same thing from 1970 up until 2011.
That's
the
weird.
messages never change. There's only one that we'll get to that kind of intermittently has changes, but it's more so like the location than what is being transmitted.
Location is where it was broadcasted from, or
yeah. All right, so this next one is called the Swedish Rhapsody, and it is a nightmare, and I hate it.
I think I've heard this one before.
I don't like it. I don't like it. This is music you hear before a Victorian child disembowels you.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like you hear this while a guy in a plague doctor mask is winding a thing that's slowly pulling out your intestines.
The ice cream truck full of corpses.
And then just a German child reading numbers.
Ugh.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Meanwhile, people all over the world are like running through their door to catch up to the ice cream truck.
So this one was first logged in the 1950s and was active all the way up until 1998. So this one is actually one of the very few number stations that has been kind of like solved. It originated from Poland, and we know this thanks to declassified records from Polish intelligence, and it was declassified in around like 2014. So this one we know where it came from and what it was used for, which I'm sure you can figure out what it was used for, but we'll get into it later. And then next up, we have, this is probably the most well-known number station to ever exist. It's called the Lincolnshire Poacher because of the song that plays in the beginning. Yeah, there's another creepy song, sorry. I feel like everyone knows this one.
Yep. This is just a guy who's really proud of his Casio keyboard.
Three, 9, 7, 1, 5. 3, 9, 7, 1, 5. 3, 9, 7, 1, 5. 3, 9, 7, 1, 5. 3, 9, 7, 1.
Yeah, so it's just that, and then it just repeats the creepy ass song over and over again. So this one was first detected in the early 70s, like most of them, and eventually went silent in 2008. So this one broadcasted daily, but sometimes on multiple frequencies at once, which strongly suggests that this was like a state level kind of operation and not some hobbyist doing it. And wouldn't you know, when the signal was tracked, it was tracked back to a Royal Air Force base in Cyprus. So it was British.
Oh.
I was going to say, the voice sounds British.
Yeah. Well, I also picked that up from the song.
The Lincolnshire Poachers?
No, the name of the song.
Yeah, it's very British. And then finally, I mean, there's a million of these, but the last one I have for you is called UVB-76, aka the buzzer. So this one is just a consistent buzzing sound, but rarely, every once in a while, there will be like a voice message, and this one does change from time to time. I'm sure you can guess right away almost where this one comes from.
We are located in America. We are Americans.
It's so Russian.
Yeah.
So that one's just that, and then it ends in just a bunch of buzzing sounds. So this one was detected also in the late 70s, and this one, surprise, is still currently active, and it runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Originally, the broadcast was traced to somewhere just outside of Moscow, but moved to now be broadcast somewhere near St. Petersburg. So some of these ran for decades, some shut down quietly, some are still going on, which brings us to the obvious question: why? Well, let's dive into some theories, starting with the obvious and mostly proven one, which is espionage.
Right.
Yeah. These broadcasts are easily one of the best ways to send instructions to people who are operating covertly without ever identifying who the message was for or where it's going or even really where it's coming from. Instead of direct messages, the information is turned into numbers or letters or tones and broadcast openly. So any asshole with the radio can hear it, but only the intended recipient knows what to do with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why the messages sound like a mishmash of nonsense, like they're supposed to. The listener already knows when to tune in, what frequency to listen to, and how to interpret what they hear. So there's no back and forth, no confirmation, no response. They just listen, write it down, decode it. That's it. And from an intelligence perspective, this is fucking perfect. Like, there's no digital trail, there's no phone records, there's no internet traffic to intercept. They're using antiquated technology that anyone can use, which makes it harder to trace. And because it's a broadcast, there's no way to tell who actually received the message. Like, you can trace it back to, you can't trace it back to any specific person because it's broadcast to everyone and in no specific place. It also explains why these stations ran for so long, like unchanged. If something works and doesn't get compromised, just don't fuck with it. Just keep using the same voices, same format, same schedule year after year. And it also explains why governments never officially acknowledge them or try to shut them down because admitting they exist would mean admitting what they're used for. And you can't do that. That's just, why would you?
It's interesting to me, though, that most of them, like, the message doesn't change over like a 30, 40, 50 year period.
Yeah.
Right. So it almost makes you think that there's like something else
going on.
The transmission that they're supposed to be listening for that's, you know, maybe mildly different or.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was wondering if the message is actually in what's not being said. Like, maybe it's in slight variations in the time between them saying things. That could be what you're actually supposed to look for.
Kind of like a reverse Morse code, almost like the silence.
Because the few word just literally repeats the same thing over and over again, and then there's like the bit of gaps in between, and then it starts again, and there's gaps in between. Yeah, it almost kind of maybe that's like the cipher is your code is the time between.
Yeah,
right.
It's the silence are kind of like the dots and dashes of a Morse code rather than the actual numbers having to be deciphered. That makes sense.
But then the other thing that I was thinking of too is that, like, these are all playing and they haven't changed. But when you think about the countries that are involved, they're countries that, you know, are still relatively stable nations right now. So I'm wondering if, like, those codes would change if there was like a nuclear attack.
Right.
Or if there was like an invasion.
Well, it's funny. It's funny to me that Russian one is still active.
Yeah. Sarge, you kind of picked up on something there. So these stations, they just quietly operate in the background and quietly disappear when they're no longer useful. But what if, Sarge and Nash, these number stations aren't just mundane bureaucratic tools? What if it's something more doomsday scenario? So this theory, which is my favorite, is known as the doomsday signal / dead hand theory, and this is where like the number stations go from being just haunted lullabies meant for 007 and become a little bit more existential. So the idea behind this theory is that some of these broadcasts, especially the ones that continuously transmit, aren't meant to send instructions at all. They're meant to signal that everything is normal. And the message isn't what's being broadcast, it's the fact that the broadcast is still happening.
Okay.
Take, for example, the Russian buzzing signal we listened to earlier. That one runs for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as that signal continues, everything is fine. If it were ever to stop permanently, that would mean something catastrophic has happened, say, for instance, a nuclear strike. So according to this theory, the signal acts like essentially like a heartbeat. As long as it's there, the command structures are still intact. If it goes silent, it could trigger an automatic response, aka retaliation without human input. It's like a dead man's switch. A system designed to ensure that even if leadership is wiped out, they can still fuck you up. And there is some validity to this theory because during the Cold War, the idea of an automated system like this absolutely existed. Both sides were terrified of what's known as a decapitation strike, which is the idea that leadership could be wiped out before they could give any orders. So systems were designed to make sure that someone or something would respond no matter what.
Well, yeah, because didn't Russia have almost a dead hand thing where even if it detected a nuclear strike, it would launch all of its arsenal at all of its enemies? Like, and then it's theorized that it's still active, even though they were like, "Oh yeah, we turned it off."
Yeah, it's pretty
Which
much
is funny because like so many times they have almost irradiated the entire planet by accident.
Because what was that one time where they detected something? It was like a system glitch, and they thought a missile was coming, but luckily the guy that was like on the radar station or whatever was like called and was like, "Hey, is this legit?" Instead of like pushing the button.
Well, I think that's also the premise of the song 99 Red Balloons.
Is it really?
Yeah, somebody apparently had released a bunch of balloons and the radar picked it up and they were like, it's a nuclear strike, and it's just a bunch of fucking balloons.
Oh, could you imagine if that's how we all went out? There's like a bad birthday party gone wrong.
It's a boy.
Just turns into fucking fallout. Yeah, it's just it's a bad gender reveal party. It just turns into a fucking nuclear holocaust.
What are we gonna do with all these balloons? Just set them loose. Some guy's running. No, and it's Fallout.
But the thing about this theory and where it kind of falls short is that some of these ongoing stations have gone silent before. There have been outages, maintenance gaps, even weird moments where other audio came through the frequency, and none of those moments ended with the world descending into chaos. Now, that's not to say that they can toggle that on and off as needed for whatever reason, like for repairs or something like that. I'm just saying it's happened and we're still all alive.
Or maybe it's possible that some of these number stations do operate in that capacity and others are strictly for passing information along.
I mean, it could be a combination of the two.
And there could be backup stations that we don't know about. Like if that one goes offline, they know to switch over to this frequency to make sure.
And that could be why the Russian one switches between two different points.
Yeah. And why the British one is in Cyprus.
Yeah. Well, the British one's not running anymore. That one's.
Yeah.
Now, once you step away from spies and nukes, the next leap people take is usually pretty obvious. What if these broadcasts aren't meant for humans at all?
The Nephilim.
So the argument for we're trying to contact aliens starts with the numbers themselves. Math is one of the few things we as humans assume would be universally understandable. Why we assume that extraterrestrials would have adopted Arabic numerals, I have no idea. But if you were trying
or the military phonetics.
Yeah.
But if you were trying to communicate with non-human intelligence or whatever, numbers kind of make more sense than words, I guess. People who buy into this theory make it a point to talk about how bland and emotionless the broadcasts are. The voices are flat. The pacing is robotic.
The one from Russia, I can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no inflection. There's no urgency. There's no attempt to sound remotely human or friendly. It's just information. They also like to point to the nature of the broadcast. Like they're not targeted. They aren't sent from point A to point B. They're just blasted out into the void, which they say feels more like a beacon than an actual broadcast. Now, there's another version of this theory that flips it and suggests that the stations are actually relays and they're rebroadcasting messages that come from somewhere else using a format that we can generate, but we just have no idea what the fuck they're saying. Now, obviously, there's zero evidence for any of this, obviously, but people like it.
But
Yeah. Weird. There's no evidence, but people still believe it. It's almost like all conspiracies, most conspiracies are bullshit. I almost said all there and I apologize.
I can see how they might come to the conclusion. Like the broadcasts, they don't behave like normal human communication. And the ones that have been going on forever, like they don't adapt, they don't respond, and they don't care who or if anyone at all is listening. They just kind of exist in our world. And there are a million more theories about what they might be, but we don't have time to cover all of them. So let's talk about what we do know about these stations. Well, first, we know the broadcasts are real. They've been logged, recorded, and monitored for decades by people all around the world. We know they're deliberate. They follow schedules. They use consistent formats. Many of them ran for years, sometimes decades, without changing up anything. We also know that some of them were traced to real physical locations, like military bases and government facilities. And in a few rare cases, official records confirmed what they were and what they were being used for. And we know they didn't all stop when the Cold War ended. Some went quiet in the 90s, some lasted into the 2000s. And like we heard, there's still one going on today in Russia. what we don't know is how many of these stations ever existed, how many were actually used for meaningful communication, or how many are active right now. We don't know who was listening, how often the messages that people received were acted on, or what, if any, of the broadcasts ever actually meant.
Sorry to interrupt you. Do we know like when the first one was ever like heard? Like, do we know when these kind of started?
Well, I think, Dave, didn't you say 1950s? I think that's
well,
what
that was like one of the ones that
was,
like ran until the 50s, but I was wondering if maybe maybe they started longer or earlier than that.
I think with what I read is that one of the first ones to ever was like, I think I want to say it was like World War One. Like
really?
They didn't last long. I think it was like just during the war they were going on. Like it wasn't like the Cold War where it started in the 50s and then ended in the 2000s. Like these were shorter ones. That was like the first time number stations were like used was during like World War One, World War II era. But yeah, like the first one to be discovered and last as long as it did was the one in the 50s, the Swedish Rhapsody one.
That must be what I read, and I just misunderstood what they were saying because I thought they said number stations started to appear in the 50s, but that's crazy. World War One.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, I don't know if they were considered number stations because, like I said, they didn't last as long as. Like I don't think they could be categorized as like the Cold War number stations that we know today.
Right.
That was just one of the first examples. Was they used them back in like the early World Wars. Oh, sorry, I ran out of breath. Okay.
Sorry, we're boring you.
No, I can't. My chest and face are so congested. I'm on a bunch of Dayquil right now. Yeah, but anyways, it's that uncertainty and mystery is why I'm completely fascinated with number stations. They sit in this weird, uncomfortable space between some mundane bullshit and like existential dread. On one hand, they're literally just radios and numbers and schedules, boring shit. But on the other hand, they represent systems operating quietly in the background of our world, transmitting things that we were never meant to truly ever understand. But there you have it, guys. That's number stations. That's all I have for you. A little bit of a shorter episode this week, but Nash, starting with you, how are we feeling about it? Do you have any theories of your own? Do you have anything?
Wasn't there like a John Cusack movie about this in like 2010?
Probably.
I feel like that was back when he was making doomsday movies.
He made a lot of those doomsday movies, I feel
he
like.
did.
Yeah. One could argue, what was it, Room 237?
Oh, I know what you're talking
Movie,
about.
2013. Look at me. Yep, Cusack.
What's it called?
The number station.
It's literally just called The Number Station?
Yeah.
I got to watch that. I didn't even know it existed.
All right, put that on my fucking letterbox.
Got a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, hell yeah. So you know it's
All
great.
right.
31% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Classic.
That's less good.
Hell yeah. All right, but Sarge, not Sarge, Nash, how you feeling? You good? But you got anything you want to add to this? Anything you got?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is kind of one of those things where there's just so many theories and never any real answers. Because I want to say I read somewhere once that it was theorized that a lot of the ones that were kind of being picked up were not like legit government, and it was just people fucking around, basically.
Yeah.
But that was obviously after they had kind of gotten popular. I think a lot of the ones from World War One in through the Cold War were definitely real government use situations. But I think like I said, you don't really hear about them really much anymore.
Yeah, no.
But I feel like 10, 15 years ago, it was just kind of came like almost like a creepypasta type thing. Where people were just making their own.
That's really when I started to hear about it. It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. And Sarge, how you feeling?
I fucking love it. It's so cool. I don't know what it is. I desperately want to know what it is, but at the same time, I feel like it's been built up so much in my mind at this point that anything that I find out is just going to be a fucking disappointment.
Yeah, maybe.
And I also love the variety in the number stations. Like we listened to a couple today, but I remember hearing one recording where there was a guy like reading a poem.
Yeah, there's some ones out there that are like really in depth that like just have some pretty crazy messages kind of being said in them that obviously means nothing, but it's always gibberish. It's always nonsense.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And I remember there being one where you could hear a kid talking in the background.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so it's like,
don't
you know,
know
this
that one.
guy's
That's
probably
amazing.
just doing this, running this number station in
Dude
fucking
in his
Siberia.
basement, his kids in the back playing the shut up, I'm trying to
Shut up and preventing nuclear launch.
activate the sleeper agents.
There was one that actually was coming out of New Mexico, I think. It went silent pretty recently, but it started out with like a short data burst because sometimes they'll burst out like these little compressed things of data real quick. And then it was Yosemite Sam.
Oh, yes. That one creeped me out a lot,
So
actually.
there's that one. That was good. But yeah, I mean, and there's a ton of theories about them. Like there's one theory, like Nash had like sleeper agent one, like it's just awakening like winter soldiers everywhere, but not like in a cool way.
Yeah, right.
It was just like a way to tell teams that they're good to go do whatever it is they're doing, not like fucking Manchurian Candidate shit.
Right.
And then there's other theories that they just were, it was like psychological warfare. Like they started playing them and we would just waste all of our time trying to decipher them instead of like actually like.
The governments don't do psyops.
Yeah, that never happens.
Yeah. So that was another one. But yeah, I fucking love the number of stations. I've been obsessed with them for a while now.
Me too.
Probably around the same time. Yeah. Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that. But it was good. But yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully everyone listening
I
enjoyed
loved it. That was incredible.
Yeah.
It made me so happy. I didn't want it to end. I could talk about number stations for hours.
I wish I had more energy.
No, I get it. That's okay. I'm going to go Google them now and just fall down a YouTube rabbit hole.
Dude, like I said, if you go on fucking Spotify, just look up the Conet Project and literally every single one, you can just listen to them, make a playlist.
I got to say, my poor kids.
Just have it.
I have them for the next 2 days, and I'm just going to force this down their throats.
I think what I'm going to do starting today is I'm just going to have it on repeat. And so that way my fucking Spotify rap for 2026 is just
number stations. You listen to 370 hours of number stations.
I think that.
I wonder if you could start your own number station and then like track who drives by your house. Like maybe the government's like, aha.
All right. All right. So with that out of the way, Nash, you got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to promote? Where can people find you? All that good stuff.
Chasing Legends on YouTube and Paraflix. Yeah. hopefully some new stuff coming out this year or being at least filmed this year. Might be doing 2 shows potentially for Paraflix, but
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
we'll see.
All right. I'll put links on where to find you and all that stuff in the episode description. Sarge, you got anything? You got anything going on?
I've got nothing, but my friends in the Haunted by podcast are doing a live show in good old Quincy, Massachusetts. So if you happen to be in the worst part of Massachusetts, you can go to the second worst part of Massachusetts, which is Quincy.
You're not really
we're
selling this
back.
live show.
The worst
for you.
part, at least in my experience, is Brockton.
Look, it's worth the trip. It's worth the trip. It's in Marina Bay. It's at a very cool brewery called Break Rock Brewery, and it's only $11. It's worth it. I'm going to be there, bringing some friends, so it should be a good time.
Hell yeah. Where was I? Where were we talking about? Oh, we were plugging
Number
stuff.
stations.
Number stations. We were plugging stuff. Got it. Yeah. So follow Sarge on all his socials. You can find him at the link on our Instagram, which is at Cryptid Cocktail. Follow us on TikTok, Cryptid Cocktail Party. Leave us a 5-star rating review wherever you can. It really helps. I think that's all I got. And with that out of the way, Nash, normally Sarge says goodbye and I love you to the audience, but do you want to do the honors?
Sure. Goodbye, audience. I love you.